Hi yogis, welcome to this evening yin-ish practice. So this is perfect for when maybe you haven't had any time during your day and you've got to the evening and you just feel a little bit wired and like you just need a little bit of time on your mat to unwind, to stretch, to breathe and to relax before sleep. So we're going to hold the poses not as long as we usually would, probably 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 1 minute in some of the poses too. And just the main focus is just to relax. So not going too deep. I'd rather you just went less deep, but relaxed more, if that makes sense. So we're going to start in butterfly pose. Now feel free to grab lots of props, cushions, bolster. If you've got a strap, grab a strap because we might use that for one of the poses. But if you don't, I'm going to offer you other options too. So we're going to start in butterfly, diamond shape with the legs. Okay, and then you're just going to fold over them, just softly. I'm going to set the timer just for 2 minutes here. I always like to use my bolster. Doesn't matter if you don't have one, but you should get one if you don't have one because they're really good. Okay, and I just kind of put it on a diagonal and rest my head on it like that. So I'm not going too deep. I feel enough in my hips. It's probably not the deepest place I could go, but the intention is just to relax and soften. So you can start to close your eyes if you haven't already. And just focus in on your breath. So watching and deepening the breath has this ability to center us, to bring us back to the present. But sometimes during the day, things get busy and we don't find that space to just watch our breath. On the days that I do find time to watch my breath, I find generally I'm feeling a lot better at the end of the day than when I don't. But it's not too late. Let each exhale just wash over you. Okay, we'll slowly come back up. You can push the bolster out in front and come to lay back. Just a little rebound shavasana, coming to lay on your back. And just feeling, even just from that one short pose, can you notice your chi, your prana, life energy, subtly moving through your legs, hips, maybe up into your lower back. Okay, the next pose we're going to do is a reclined pigeon. So just bending your knees, bringing your right ankle over your left knee and lifting your left foot off the floor. Hold behind the leg. Now you can just simply stay like this. Another option might be to just kind of rest that left foot on something so it's a little bit higher, so you can kind of relax a bit more. Or you can do that against the wall. Okay, so I'd have to spin around like this. And you kind of put your ankle, right ankle over the knee first, and then slide the left foot up the wall. You might have to move a bit further back away from it to give yourself space so it's not too intense. I'm going to stay for 2 minutes. So again, you can just hold behind the leg, prop something under the left foot so it's a bit higher up, or just move against a wall. Once we're in the pose, we just find stillness. We kind of draw ourselves back to a center, the center of our being, even if it's kind of like a twister, like a hurricane. Still busyness all around it, sometimes chaos all around it, but then there's this calm in the center. And we just kind of breathe into that center. Not getting too carried off by what's happening in the whirlwind of the mind or of your house. Outside of the room you're in, maybe you can hear some chaos of kids or other noises around. You just let yourself relax into the earth, into this deep stretch for the outer right hip. And time is up. If you're against the wall, just slide your left foot down, release your right leg. We'll do the other side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Slide that right foot up the wall a little bit. It can feel a little bit juicy to start with. If it's too much, move a bit further back from the wall. If it feels okay, just stay. And really bring your awareness down into that left hip. Trying to relax your jaw, your mouth, your throat as well. And actually, once we're in our yin poses, we don't really have to do anything. It's just this unraveling. This restoration, this kind of finding balance. The body knows what to do by itself. We just have to step out the way. Not add anything new. Not adding any new sensory stuff or not getting attached to thoughts that pass us. And again, slide that right foot back down the wall. Release the left leg. And then turn yourself back onto your mat into your rebound shavasana again. And just let the whole body relax, sink into the earth. Again, observe legs, hips. This subtle vibration of chi moving through you. Okay, the next pose. You might use your strap. Excuse me. If you don't have a strap, I'll show you another pose so you can do quickly first. So instead you can just roll up to seated, and you're just going to draw your left foot in. Your right leg kind of goes out a little bit diagonally to the right. Then you're just going to fold forward a little bit, keeping the legs fairly relaxed. You might even have a slight bend in your right knee for a half butterfly pose. So stretch mostly for the back and sides of that right leg. But if you have a strap, this is one of my favourite poses to do. I really recommend getting one just to do this pose. So you loop your strap. Okay, so it's probably about a good half of the distance of the strap is in, half of the length of the strap is a loop. And then you just bring the strap behind the head. If we need it a little bit longer, I might make mine a little bit longer actually. So we don't want it to be too much, but we want it just to be enough. Mine's a little bit twisted, but it doesn't matter. Okay, you hook it behind the head. So your head is a little bit lifted off the floor. You can sink your head into the strap, and that kind of just the effect of the weight of your head holds your leg up. I'm going to do 2 minutes here too. Or in your half butterfly, it doesn't matter so long as the target area, the back of the leg, is getting a stretch and you're able to relax at the same time. Just got to shuffle my strap slightly because I've got the metal bit on my head. So I wouldn't recommend having the metal bit on the head. Just move it along so you can be really comfy. You're relaxing so much. You're almost letting yourself fall asleep, but just not quite. You're staying aware and conscious, but you're relaxing that much that you could be asleep. Your heart rate slows right down. But you don't go off in your head. You know, sometimes when you get into bed, you haven't had any space from your thoughts. You can kind of go to sleep with quite a busy mind. Lots of visuals that take you into dreams. But it's really good to just clear the mind out of the debris of the day. Okay. To come out, just if you're in the same pose as me, just release the strap from behind your head. Slowly lower that leg down. Little rebound shavasana. If you're in your half butterfly, you slowly come back up and just lie back into your rebound shavasana as well. The rebound shavasana just allows everything to kind of come back to neutral in between poses. We don't do it every time, but it's good when we can, just to kind of let the energy just filter and flush through the whole body. Okay, next pose. I'm going to do the left leg, so you can either just roll onto your side and come back up and do half butterfly on the left side. So right leg bent, right foot into left inner thigh, left leg a little bit out to the left, and then you fold forward. Otherwise, bring your strap, not the metal bit behind your head, behind your left foot. Just stay for 2 minutes. We just want to feel a little bit of stress in the back of the left leg. There can still be a very slight bend in the knee. There can be a bend in the right knee as well with the right foot down, if that helps you feel a little bit better in your back. And we can't control the mind with the mind. That's the work of the samurai warriors. They were able to do that, but most people aren't. Instead, we just bypass the mind by following the breath. Soft breath, slightly deeper than they naturally would be. Okay, you can slowly release. Strap from head, leg down. If you're in your half butterfly, slowly coming back up and then laying back into your rebound shavasana. Feel that flush of chi through your left leg. And just watch it as it kind of just melts back in. Okay, from here, we're just going to roll over onto one side and gently press yourself up. We're going to just spin the legs behind us Coming onto the belly for the Sphinx pose. I love a supported Sphinx pose. Feel free to just do a normal Sphinx pose with your hands down, elbows under the shoulders, legs a little bit spread so the buttocks can relax, legs can relax. This is where we'll stay 2 minutes. Or if you have a bolster, it's really nice to just slide it underneath, at the ribs, and then you don't have to hold yourself up with your arms. You can feel a little bit more restorative. You can even just drop the head down a bit. You don't have to hold the head and the chin up. You can drop it down. If you want a little bit more sensation, bend the knees, lift the feet off the floor towards the buttocks. Just become very still. Like you're drifting off to sleep, but you're not letting your mind drift. You're just staying in this relaxed space between wakefulness and sleep. Okay, straightening out your legs if they are bent. If you've got a bolster under you, slide it away. And just gently come down onto your belly. One hand on top of the other. Rest your head on your hands. We're going to gently lift back up to a tabletop. You might feel like just kind of stretching back, bum towards heels, maybe tucking the toes, just lengthening the spine. Staying for a breath, kind of in this toes tucked child's pose. And then coming forward. So we're going to finish with a twist on each side. I'm going to show you with a bolster. Twisted deer, which is one of my favourite poses again. But you can also do a reclined twist. Actually, I'll just show you that first. For those that don't have a bolster, just going to lie back. And you can draw your left knee in. Use your right hand over the left knee, left arm out to the side, and just kind of draw that leg across. As you look out to the left, the knee moves over to the right. You can pad it out with cushions or whatever, or you can just let it hover in the air. Okay. And I'll set the timer just once I've got into this pose. If you're doing the same as me with your bolster, you're just going to set your right hip next to the short edge of the bolster, with the bolster going up the mat. Okay, so right hip. And your knees just aren't stacked on top of each other. Your knees are just kind of loosely apart. Then you turn your body and try and bring your belly down onto the bolster. I'm just going to take the microphone and put it up here. Okay, so you fold your belly down. It's up to you whether you have your head facing just still to the left, so the same way as the knees, or whether you turn it for a twist in the neck as well. I usually prefer to just keep the head in the same direction as the knees, but just see what feels good for your body. Deeply relax. And just staying curious about where the mind goes. Sometimes we go off for a minute or two in the head, and we remember where we are again, and come back to the breath, just being with the simplicity of this moment. If you're in your reclined twist, just bringing your knee back to center and straightening it out next to the other one. If you're in your twisted deer, just coming back up. And you can turn around. Okay, so your left hip is onto that side of the bolster, so you've just turned around. Okay, and then you're going to fold over, trying to bring your belly onto the bolster. And you might turn the head, you might not. If you're in your reclined twist, you're going to bend your opposite knee. So your right knee, draw it across to the left with your left hand, looking out to your right hand. Stay for 2 minutes. Just staying close to the rise and fall of the breath. And how that draws you to the center of your being. Maybe the spiral, the hurricane is slowed down a bit, maybe not. But your connection to that center and that stillness in the center has maybe made it seem like it's grown, or that the swirling of thoughts has calmed a little bit. Okay, we're going to turn back. If you're in your reclined twist, just straighten out into your shavasana. If you're in twisted deer, just gently coming back up. Moving the bolster. Actually, I'm going to use it under my knees. Also a really great way to use it in shavasana. Then you can lay back. But you can also just stuff pillows under your knees or a rolled up blanket. Just helps the legs just feel really like supported, like they can really relax. And the back feels like it can relax. Everything just slows down. And these final moments to yourself before bed, just remembering 3 things that have happened today to be grateful for. Just looking back over your day. With a smile in your heart. I'm going to leave you here. Yogi, stay as long as you like. Have a lovely sleep. Good night.